Look at all these people just walking, going somewhere, coming from somewhere. Some probably coming from work or uni. Some going home. Some of them graduates. Some of them not. And you can't tell. You genuinely cannot tell. That woman crossing the road. That guy in the suit. The delivery driver. The girl in the gym leggings exercising. You see, some of these people are carrying 40 to 70,000 pounds worth of student debt. Some of them never stepped foot inside a lecture hall. And here's the uncomfortable question. Did some of the ones who didn't go actually see something the rest didn't? You see, there are two types of people in this world. Those who go into full-time education looking for something, and those who already knew. Now, before anyone gets emotional, breathe. Whether I went to university or not doesn't really matter, because this isn't an attack. This is merely observation. Because if we're honest, and ISL is about honesty, a lot of people went to university not because they had a clear mission, but because they didn't know what else to do. That's not stupidity. That's uncertainty. And uncertainty at 18 is normal. But here's where it gets interesting. Some people at 18 already knew exactly who they were. They didn't need to find themselves. They didn't need these 3 years to explore identity. They weren't looking for a spark. They already had one. Look at this guy here. High-vis jacket, probably 7 a.m. start. He might not have letters after his name, but he might own property. He might have started as an apprentice at 17, got paid to learn, no debt. By 25, he could already be ahead financially of someone who graduated at 21 and started from scratch. Is he less intelligent? Or did he simply see the maths earlier? Let's break this down psychologically. University for many is a delay mechanism, a socially acceptable pause button. 3 years to figure out life, 3 years of structure, 3 years of safety before the real world hits. But some people didn't need that buffer. They understood something early. Money compounds, time compounds, experience compounds, but debt also compounds. Especially in the UK, student loans aren't small. You're talking 9,000 a year tuition, maintenance loans, interest stacking, and for what? Let's be brutally honest. How many graduates are actually working in the field they studied? Some are, absolutely. Doctors, accountants, engineers, financial professionals. Like, university makes sense there. But what about the majority? The business management grads working in retail, the psychology grads in admin, the media grads doing unpaid internships, the politics grads applying for generic office roles. No disrespect. This is just reality. Look at this guy in a suit. Sharp, professional. He probably went to uni, but we don't know. We don't know what debt he's carrying. We don't know if he enjoys what he does. We don't know if he studied something completely different. Now look at that Uber driver. What if he skipped university, started earning at 18, saved, invested in property in Croydon or Luton, built something quietly? You tell us, who's ahead? We assume based on appearance, but life just isn't that simple. Here's where this might sting. Some degrees today, let's call it what it is, they are lifestyle degrees, right? The degrees that sound interesting but have no clear financial pathway attached. People are not going to like the fact that we're going to actually name them, but we'll just go ahead and do it because ISL is about reality, right? So when we Look at courses like contemporary media practice, popular culture studies, surf science, esports management. You got creative writing and publishing, global heritage studies, fashion communication, music journalism, event and festival management, digital influencer marketing. The list goes on. Now, are these intellectually worthless? Well, of course not. But are they economically strategic for everyone? That's a different conversation. Especially when they come with 50k plus debt. Especially when the job market isn't promising graduates guaranteed outcomes. That's the risk. And some 18-year-olds signed up for that risk without fully understanding it. Now, let's be fair, not going to university isn't automatically genius either. Like, there are risks. You miss networking opportunities, you miss structured development, you miss exposure to ideas. Some people who skip uni drift. A lot of them regret it. Some struggle to re-enter education later. So this isn't black and white. This is about awareness. But the ones we're talking about, the chosen ones, if we even want to call them that, they weren't rebellious. They weren't lazy. They weren't even anti-education. They were decisive. They knew, I don't need theory right now. I need leverage. They went into apprenticeships. They learned trades. They started businesses. They entered industries at the bottom and climbed. By the time graduates entered the workforce at 21 or 22, roughly, these people already had 3 to 4 years experience. That is a lifetime. In today's economy, experience is currency. And here's the uncomfortable twist. Many graduates would privately admit they didn't know what they wanted at 18. They just followed the conveyor belt. School to sixth form to university, university to debt. Figure it out later. And that conveyor belt works for some, but it traps the majority. Look at these people walking. Some of them regret going. Some of them regret not going. Some of them don't even think about it at all. Completely indifferent. But here's the deeper layer. The ones who skipped university and succeeded early, they invested in themselves instead of credentials. They chose momentum over exploration. They chose action over contemplation. And sometimes that's a dangerous but powerful bet, because when you bet on yourself early, you either win early or you fail early. And failing early is information. University delays that feedback loop. So maybe it's not about graduates versus non-graduates. Maybe it's about clarity versus uncertainty. Some people go to university to discover who they are. Some people already know. And that difference changes everything. Now here's a question I want you to sit with. If you went to university, did you go because you had a plan or because you didn't? And if you didn't go, did you skip it because you were unsure or because you were certain? There's a massive psychological difference. Look around. Every person you see carrying decisions, carrying debts, carrying momentum, carrying regret, carrying pride, you just can't tell who made the right choice. But you can tell this. The world doesn't reward degrees. It rewards value. And some people figured that out earlier than others. So we'll leave you with this. Did the ones who skipped university miss out, or did they see something most people couldn't? Let us know in the comments. And remember, we're not here to study books. We're here to study life.